will Fnatic win the final?
I'm sure of it.
Do you know anything about Olympic sports?
Nothing at all.
Okay, so shot puts, you know, throwing the rock.
Yeah?
Which member of Fnatic would be the best at shot put?
Definitely Broxa.
Well, that's it, simple. So why are Rogue not here?
Because Larsen booked some tickets.
Okay, so let's take a look at this. We got Fnatic, we got Grubs, we've got LEC, Daddy Broxa. Hello, Deficio.
Hi.
Hello, you.
Hi, me?
Oh,
you don't like it?
No, I don't. We have history, you know, we have beef.
I want you to join us. Like, what's the problem? I'm the one open to the relationship.
So listen, the activations look awesome. When will the Origin booth be done?
Hey, you don't like our wall? It's a fan meet booth.
Okay, so what champion can we expect to see that we've not seen yet?
I can't tell you for sure. I've been having holidays for 2 weeks, so I'm just chilling for now, you know, like.
All right, so where are we gonna go next? I can actually see the Misfits booth. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the Misfits booth, they're doing a silent disco. All right, while we're exploring the activation area, are you a little bit nervous that while I'm talking to you, your hair's gonna get messed up?
A little bit, but it's okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Which one of you wrote Caps be my waifu?
I did. It's Baby Faker. What else can I...
Excuse me, Faker is Baby Caps. Moving on. I remember when you were relevant, you were quite an emotional guy. Not that that isn't true anymore. Are you allowed to talk to your team on finals day?
Of course, they want me to. They want me to.
Surely you're a distraction, Carlos.
I definitely am a distraction, but they don't have any other way because I have to approve the payroll, so they have no other option than just...
Carlos, talk to me now. When you were down 0-2 last week, what was going through your mind?
Oh, I was with my daiquiri on the beach, just not caring, you know. No, the truth is that I had a heart attack.
Okay, quick fire questions now, right? Who will win, Fnatic or Schalke?
Rogue.
What will the score be of G2 versus Fnatic or Schalke?
2-3 for Rogue.
Would you bet all your money right now on saying G2 becomes world champion?
Yes.
There you go.
for the event of the summer, a dream final between G2 and Fnatic. The whole world is watching tonight as the reigning champions in the LEC face off against the most winning team in EU history. Hello everyone, I'm Shox, joined by Ender, Deficio, and YamatoCannon to bring you all of the action right here from Athens. Woo! We are really underway now. A lot of loud people, a bit louder than yesterday still. And why would they not be? What a day.
I mean, I don't know, because we've got Fnatic, who caught the attention of the world last year at the World Finals, and then G2, the team that caught the admiration of the world at MSI this year, clashing today. It's going to be incredible.
Absolutely, and I do want to take a moment to emphasize the importance and the momentum of today. The World Championship is only a couple of weeks away, and 17 teams have already qualified. Champions have been crowned all around the world, but now everyone is looking at Athens, is looking at this stage, is looking at all of you and at G2 and Fnatic, two of the best teams in the world fighting for the crown and fighting to show what EU is made of. Fantastic. Can I just say for everyone here in the arena, Efkaristo, that you are all here. Oh. It is difficult. Quite a difficult language. So thank you so much for being here. Let's get into the action and also go over what we saw yesterday, the Fish Show. It was Fnatic that reigned victorious over Schalke 04 in quite a simple fashion, I would say.
It was very one-sided.
It was one-sided.
That's very safe to say. I think, Reckless had a great series, specifically down in the bot lane together with Hylissang, but overall, it was a Fnatic team who didn't have to show anything new. They actually just have to go and improve. They are just better than Schalke in every single way, mechanically and also as a team.
I think the big question mark as well was, where is Fnatic's mental strength? And they showed up big time, 3-0. They showed good form, which makes me very excited for this finals.
And I just loved the strategy we were seeing out of them. In typical Fnatic fashion, early game strategy. It was the level 2 play in game 2, the level 1 that was almost picture perfect. That same move they went for 2 games in a row, and they just unwound and demolished Schalke with it.
And I think looking at the last week, you couldn't ask for more right now setting up to this final. Fnatic get G2 all the way to 5 games. Fnatic then 3-0 what is the 3rd best team in Europe yesterday in this arena, which really shows the top 2 teams right now are a level above the rest. And whoever wins today, for the first time ever, we can say they're going to be favorites going into Worlds.
That is incredible just hearing that. And indeed, Fnatic is locked into Worlds because of their win yesterday. G2 is also already locked into the World Championship. And Schalke 04, they will go into the regional qualifiers. This is the bracket. It is almost completely played out. And I think at the beginning of everything, I'm so sorry, the Fish Show, I'm so sorry, Yamato, but many people wanted to see this best of 5.
Everyone's just been waiting, Fnatic versus G2, because these are our 2 best early game teams in the league, the biggest fan bases, the biggest history behind these 2 incredible organizations. It all comes down to this.
I think ever since Caps left Fnatic for G2, this is what everyone was waiting for. Fnatic had a rough start in Spring Split, and now we're here in the finals to round off the entire European split.
And all the players on Fnatic are going to step up, and they did yesterday already. The player of the series was Broxa. Broxa, the same guy who we saw on stage after the reverse sweep last week, with his head in his hands and just tweeting afterwards, "This hurts so bad." Well, that is one way to answer back. It is playing a series like that.
Absolutely untouchable yesterday from the early game strategies that Fnatic implemented. The games were always about Broxa. Game 1, very reckless focus, but after that, it was Broxa securing early game leads, and off of those first few kills, just snowballing the games incredibly.
Yeah, and you mentioned snowballing. I think Broxa, when his team is actually getting hit often through him, he's snowballing harder than any jungler we have in Europe. The amount of plays he pulls off on things like Lee Sin, it's absolutely crazy.
I think the main takeaway with Broxa is that he has these 3 champions that he's very, very comfortable on. He has the Lee Sin, the Gragas, and of course, the Elise. If he has something in store for us, maybe a Sejuani after that 1v1 yesterday, I would be excited to see that today as well.
Yeah, Broxa has really also stepped up as kind of the captain, and people are looking at when you look at this Fnatic squad after the hole that Caps left. Are you guys impressed with the new dynamic that Fnatic has found with that very good mid laner, maybe best in the world, not being in the mid lane anymore, but then having Nemesis and having all the other players step up?
I love this new style of Fnatic because in 2018, it was all about coming to mid lane and making sure Caps was the carry. Caps was getting ahead. I think in 2019, we've seen different styles. It's much more on Broxa to move around the map with Nemesis. When Nemesis can play champions with the ability to roam, it completely has transformed how this Fnatic squad can play the game. And now they put carry resources in top lane, bot lane, mid lane, they can do it all.
All these players stepping up and throughout the regular season. We saw many individuals step up, but in the end, only one was worthy of the title as MVP, standing next to some of the best in the world. This guy keeps reaching new heights, a true LEC legend. Here is your Summer Split Most Valuable Player.
Goodbye, Reckless now going to be in trouble. The shield not going to matter too much, but he will be able to retrieve the ulti. Connects over the wall, the long shot. Jankos finds his mark, the double drop for Pike, and money in the bank for G2.
Jankos will not come out on top of this 1v1 match. It needs to make it out to safety. Where's he going to go? Will step forward, will go right into Humanoid, and the 3-0.
Disastrous. That's going to be the shutdown for Jankos. Leader and Dust now is run. Leader could be forced. The double kill coming in. Jankos might want to make it a triple, but Dot will leap out to safety.
Jankos, perhaps another dive.
Oh, that was a fantastic Cocoon, locked inside the baby cage. Now Jackson gets caught on. Jankos reflection of the wall. Cocoon and a venomous bite will secure the kill. Jankos isn't done yet though. Finds another Cocoon.
Jankos on the pal. He dodges from the ulti, and they're going to find Jack Troll.
Oh man, Cocoon manages to connect. Jackson gets pulled backwards. Another death from below.
Jankos steals away the ult. We'll watch this. Oh, wait, does he walk into it? What is going on? No way!
Jankos, congratulations on being the 2019 Summer Split LEC MVP! You had the most amazing year. First EU title, first international title, and now first MVP title. How proud are you after all these years?
Well, I'm really happy that after so many years, I can finally show up and play against the best players on the international stage and actually beat them, and at the same time be really valuable asset to my team and get the MVP.
Watching all these replays you saw, which one will you remember the most? Which was your best moment this year?
Maybe one of the Sejuani games, I don't know.
You know what? Thinking about it, was it worth it for you playing Sejuani the whole year?
I mean, I don't really think that I played the whole year, but as you could see yesterday when she 1v1 Broxa, it's pretty OP, right? So, I mean, I think it's a good champion, but hopefully today I can show up on something that can do more plays.
Did you know that the first and only time a jungler was awarded MVP was Trick, when we also was at G2? How proud are you of following his footsteps?
Well, I mean, I guess G2 has pretty good junglers, but I'm pretty proud of myself. My brother Trick is out since yesterday, but I will avenge him.
What is the most challenging thing when you are the jungler of G2 with such talented players with you?
I think the most annoying thing is that all the laners require a lot of attention, but at the same time, all of them are great players, so it's a pleasure to jungle for them, but sometimes maybe they could wait for me more.
All right. What would you say to people who think that maybe some other members of G2 deserve this award? Why is it yours and yours only today?
Well, I mean, I think I performed really well this year, and this split as well. And I was the only one playing Sejuani, so I guess that's why.
As the MVP, you will have a big task tonight. You will have to shine and bring your team to another trophy. Broxa said some strong words yesterday, but why will these finals be yours once again?
Well, I mean, Broxa wants to steal Carlos' lunch money, but the victory dinner after today's finals is on me.
any last words you would like to say to the fans who watched you and supported you the whole year?
Well, I'm really grateful to all the fans that did support me. I'm grateful to Athens for, all of the people being here today, and I hope you guys will cheer for both teams. But G2 will be on top.
Congratulations once again, Jankos, and of course, good luck on today. Now back to you, Shox.
Thank you very much, Long. Also, a big congratulations from all of us here on the desk. An absolutely deserved MVP in Jankos Yamato. You know him very, very well. It must also feel good for you to see him get this trophy.
I'm very happy for him, very proud of him. I got the pleasure of working with him back in the Rocket days, which was a very long time ago. And even last split, he was considered the best player who has never won a split, and now he has the MVP title. He went from the first Blood King to the most diverse jungle in Europe. So this growth has been immense, and he had that special thing already in the Rocket days. So I'm very proud of him.
He deserves it all, and today he is going to play that all-important war on the Rift. But there is another one going on, and that is on Twitter. Now, if you follow G2 eSports on Twitter or Fnatic, you might see that they like to banter back and forth. And we thought to get us in the mood for this final, we wanted to rehash some of the tweets that we have seen. And the first one coming up is from G2 eSports, I believe. It says, at Fnatic, what is this called in your country? Holy moly, taking some inspirations from some double lift there.
Yeah, I guess a little bit right there. Greece, do you have an answer for this guy, for G2? What is this?
It's hard to make out. I think we're 50-50 split on G2.
Brave try.
Right.
Oh, man.
Is it weird chip? Is that possible?
I'm pretty sure that's usually what they say.
No, okay, let's go over to the next one as well. What is that tweet? All right, so, okay, guys, I think we have memed on Fnatic now, so maybe we should relax things a bit. Well, that time won't stop me because I can't read. That is one of my personal favorites. Yamato. There's a lot of words about banter and if it's okay or not and what it does. What do you think about G2's strategy to get in their heads?
I think this is the G2 way. They're very loose with their words, loose in their play, and it's something that we come to expect by now. So I'm very happy that one team has that boldness and back it up as well.
Yeah, it helps that they just win every time as well, Shox.
Are we getting a Fnatic tweet?
I'm not sure. See, the thing is, we were curating them, and Fnatic was a bit more, I would say, less trash-talking overall on Twitter. It was G2 who threw out more. I know that Origin does not approve of this kind of name-calling, but we're still going to take a look at it.
I mean, we're 9 teams who are basically getting attacked by G2 these
days.
That's so true. I think we're all in this together.
Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, Fnatic, they have the best bot lane in LEC, so Ferguson have no chance. Plus, Broxah can deal with Jankos, and Fnatic solo laners can definitely...
These are just win conditions
These are win conditions, it's perfect. I mean, all of them were true for 2.5 games last week.
It's true, yeah.
So I'm not sure if they have to be so funny.
So I'm pretty sure the clown is supposed to be a Fnatic fan right there, saying why Fnatic's gonna win.
Oh
I saw that guy earlier.
Yeah. Did you? All right, final one, so that we're all warmed up for today, is coming from, I think, someone from the broadcast crew. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, you know, I was a little disappointed in G2, honestly. I just think it was kind of pathetic that G2 could not get every single award this split, and I really just hope they bounce back in 2020.
So basically, next time you want them to get a rookie, so they can also put the rookie in for enough games to actually vote for that
rookie. Huh?
I guess there's a minimum of amount of games you can play, but this seems like a mission for Ocelot.
I think it's like 4 games, 3 or 4 games
you have
to play.
put someone in to play 4 games. Great. Well,
actually, I believe in the current rules, if you put Ocelot in now, he would count as a rookie.
He would count as a rookie. Oldest rookie
but he
ever.
played already.
Love it.
Yes, too many years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, then we can be rookies.
Yeah, we could be rookies too.
Well, G2 and Fnatic, they're very busy battling it out on Twitter. And meanwhile, Wonder, he's running around in Azeroth. So, Jankos, how is it going with this World of Warcraft account?
He's level 51, and he has an epic ring.
Fantastic. Glad that we have that.
What does that even mean?
All right, now that we know basically everything important, right? We know who the MVP is, we know who has the hottest Twitter banter, we know what level Wonder is. We're gonna really dive into this best of 5 because tonight we get the dream that fans have waited for months. Europe, I'm going to try it over. Tonight, we get the final that we have all been waiting for as Europe's two titans battle for the LEC title and that first seed for Worlds. Thank you for the support. Sometimes it goes wrong. G2 eSports versus Fnatic, and they are both nothing less of super impressive. The winningest team in EU history, starting off with G2 eSports, who started all the way back 5 years ago and now finds themselves here.
Yeah, and it goes back even further than that too, right? With Fnatic in 2011, all the way at the beginning, winning titles before I even knew League of Legends existed. This team has been around from the very beginning, and it's always been the rest of Europe looking up to this team.
Which is also why it's very fitting that it was G2 eSports who really stopped the dominance. You know, Alliance got one win in there, but it was G2 who said, no, we can take more than a single split. They got 4 in a row, stopped Fnatic from dominating in Europe, and now, again, this year, G2 are back on top.
I feel like, you know, as an LEC competitor, Fnatic and G2 are the teams that you always have to chase and overcome and beat. And I feel, you know, I'm thinking about the World Championship, knowing that these two teams qualified is going to be a banger, that's for sure.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 5 titles versus 7 titles. Also, the Golden Road, still a possibility for G2 eSports if they win both European titles and MSI and Worlds. But that seems like we're going a bit too far before we've even played the final.
Depends on who you ask. If you ask Carlos or anyone from G2, they're already looking towards that World Final.
Yes, and last week, of course, we got a taste of what this best of 5 is going to look like, as in the round 2 of the playoffs, G2 played Fnatic in the Kings match, and it was such a great match, all the way to 5 games.
Yeah, and at the start, it looked like Fnatic was going to 3-0 G2. Such a huge surprise from this team, who used incredible early game pressure and strong skirmishing to get out to a lead. But in game 3, everything turned. Crucial team fighting around the Baron, and Wonder stepping up so massively.
Yeah, and it was almost like they kind of broke Fnatic, you know, when they didn't finish that one game, G2 realized, okay, there are certain things we have to remove, and they also started playing better individually. We have to highlight that. First couple of games, Fnatic were just better on the Rift if you look at each player in each lane against each other. But I think the last couple of games turned back towards G2. And that's why you're kind of sitting now, being a little bit confused of going into this game. Like, what level did you see G2 at? We know Fnatic will play well. Will G2 match that or beat that instantly?
The mere fact that mechanically Fnatic went blow for G2, even that they lost the series in the end, does that instill you with a lot of hope for this best of 5 and the rematch?
I think what's scary is that I feel like at the end of the first best of 5 that we saw, I felt like G2 figured them out completely. And looking at the series from yesterday, I didn't feel like Fnatic had to show anything. So it all comes down to what has Fnatic in their pockets, what are they hiding?
Is G2 a team that generally does well with information from these teams, maybe even the best out of any team in the league?
I mean, this team, we've seen it. They've gone to international events. They've done so well. They know how to prep for their opposition. But I do think there are still options for Fnatic. You know, we look just at that game 3 when they weren't fully relying on globals to get an early lead. There are tools to fight back.
Yeah, but the odds seem to be stacked against Fnatic. But Fnatic, they have 7 titles for a reason. What is there in here? What do they have to focus on today?
I mean, we know there's some key picks for Fnatic that they really want to use and actually used against G2 last week. You know, looking at things down the bot lane, like Yuumi is most successful for them. G2 actually banned that away. I think that can be a big one. I'm also looking at things like, you know, Aatrox that get banned away every game, Hylissang getting Rakan. Like, there are key picks for this team they can use to dominate with. And we've seen all split long that some of these picks down here are very successful.
Right, I think we also have to focus in on the Twisted Fate, which I expect to be perma-banned here from the side of G2, because Fnatic plays so well with that champion, and especially with globals, because the way G2 like to play is very fast, very loose. They like to fight you and scrap you all around the map. If you have a global tool like the Twisted Fate, you can instantly respond and shut that down. That's what we saw in the first 2 games when he constantly went top lane and didn't allow Wonder to even play the game.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Nemesis Twisted Fate is banned for the rest of the season. I'm looking at the picks that G2 brought to the table. I remember the Kled that brought them to that Game 3 victory that was so clutch. And all these picks that are overlapping. We think about Hylissang Pyke and the Hylissang Rakan, but Mickey X Pyke, Mickey X Rakan is just as strong. I think G2's champion pool is so vast, and I'm expecting more picks today even.
But it's also very fascinating with Nemesis and kind of like what playstyle do you bring to the table when you play against Caps? You know, he was successful on the roaming, the push and roam style. I actually look at him as well saying that is your strength right now. Having to try and win pure 1v1 against Caps is often not the greatest call. If there are other champions where you can get priority in pushing and then go to top lane, go to bot lane. That's what Fnatic does so well. They use pressure in lanes to roam.
It's so interesting knowing that we've already seen 5 games, and we even saw in that 5th game, Fnatic was pushed to their limits in terms of what they picked, because G2 just brings so much versatility. They ran out of picks, just put it that way. So that does concern me for the draft phase for them, and I'd love to see what they're going to go for in the first game. A couple of matchups we do also need to talk about is in the jungle first and foremost. Jankos, he was just crowned the Summer Split MVP, but Broxa is right behind him. How much is this going to influence the best of 5?
It's going to be such a crucial matchup here, Shocks. And for me, Jankos on your screen, the best jungler in the LEC. There's a reason why he won MVP. And I think there's a misconception commonly when you see a team like G2 with such stacked roster, it's easy to play jungle. That's what people say. That is not the case, because when you have 3 different lanes that want to fight and want to go in all the time, you need to be so smart and efficient with your time, and Jankos is exactly that.
For sure, as you're saying, you have to play perfect, and on top of that, you have to be able to play every champion. Because sometimes in champions, they're like, all of a sudden, your solo lane is like, I don't want to play this one. You play Pyke, you play Qiyana, you play Sylas, and Jankos is delivering in all of these champions. We always think of his Sejuani thing, but he has played many, many different ones this split.
Now, we're talking a lot about champ pools, you know, both for Fnatic as a team, now also in the jungle matchup. I want to highlight that the fact that Fnatic got all the way to 5 games last week, have had a week now to figure out, okay, what else do we need to add? It's just 1 or 2 more picks per player. That's all you need in a best of 5 extra. If you're Fnatic now, you don't need to add 10 new champions. So I think for them, having a week to prepare could be huge for them. I expect G2 to play somewhat the same as they've already done.
Yeah, that's a great point. Of course, they had some more time. And when we look not only at the picks, but just at the players, the icons, and the legends that are on stage today, it is unbelievable what 10 players we have playing in this 5v5. But 2 that we want to highlight specifically is Perkz versus Rekkles. On the one side, a guy who hasn't played Marksman for longer than a year and already has an international title to show for it, versus Rekkles, who is fantastic and still chasing that biggest trophy.
For so long, it has been Rekkles on top of Europe and all the other AD carry players looking up towards him as the best in the region. It's been a long time since he's faced a legitimate challenge, but now in the finals, it is Perkz looking down on him.
For sure. I remember the last one, which was Sven versus Rekkles, the OG versus Fnatic series that went to 5 games. And that the big question mark was, who is the best ADC? And we can ask that same question today. We have Rekkles versus Perkz. Is going to get really, really wild.
So many interesting matchups. Is there a person we've forgotten? Is there anyone else that you say, I'm going to put my money on this guy to perform out of his mind today?
I mean, we haven't talked about Wonder really, except for the Kled pick. He's the best top laner in Europe. We have also not talked about a guy who's won multiple MVP titles. A lot of people consider him the best player in the West. That's Cap.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of names we're missing out on the G2 side, but I think Fnatic, you're not going to win this game individually. You're actually going to win it by having more pressure in the early game as a team.
As we get there, then tell me about the win conditions. Fnatic, slight underdog, big underdog, depending on who you ask. How do they win this trophy?
I think for Fnatic, it must start in the bottom lane, and we need to see Hylissang on comfort picks. I want to see him on the likes of the Pyke or the Rakan. He is so good on those champions and can carry games for Fnatic when he is on those. And also, through those types of picks, you can control the mid lane. Fnatic, all the time, look for these 3v3 plays around the mid lane where Broxa and Hylissang team up to attack. If they can do that, they can shut down Caps and start controlling from the center of the map.
For sure, and also something that what were showcased yesterday was a special Fnatic homemade meal, which is just carry through Rekkles. Pick the Karma, play around him, and just put Rekkles on a pedestal to take over the game, and that was showcased big time yesterday.
As we see the players here, they're about to take the stage for the opening ceremony. Tell me about G2. How do they win today, Deficio?
Well, I think the big thing, remove globals, Twisted Fate, take it away. If there are another global showing up, maybe look to remove that as well later on in the series. And then kind of the counter to Ender's point about, Hylissang specifically, is actually counterpick support. I think Mickey, if he counterpicks support and he doesn't play like he did in the first couple of games last week, then G2 can win the bot lane, and that shuts down Fnatic hard.
I also want to add, they can focus on that 2v2 mid. If they enable Caps, all of a sudden he can take over the map, and he can be the roamer instead of Nemesis if he gets the space to do so.
Which then actually sets up, if you win the mid lane as G2, then you can have stronger side lanes with Wonder, obviously,
Are they going to keep going
Caps
these win
as well.
conditions for G2?
So then your 1-3-1 can actually be super strong.
And on top of that, everyone in this team can carry. We talk about who we want to highlight. We could have talked forever about every single individual. And Mickey with those engages, Wunder, when everything falls apart, he's the one that carries with the Kled, with the Rise, with whatever. So everyone can carry on this team.
It's unfair. He gets 1 or 2 win conditions for Fnatic, and you have 7 for G2.
All you need is 1 or 2.
All you
don't
need
need
is 1
10.
or 2. Let's take a look at predictions as we get closer and closer to the opening ceremony and kicking off our finals for G2 Esports versus Fnatic. There we go. 2 Fnatic votes and 2 for G2. We are split down the middle on the desk.
We got to hear the Fnatic
Yeah,
one here.
go ahead.
Look, I think Fnatic should have 3-0'd last week against G2. They were in the position to be able to do it. They proved they could compete on a mechanical level. They had the early game strategy to beat it. Now it's their time to do it.
We'll see. Tonight is a series years in the making as 2 fierce rivals fight for the title in the City of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in counting down towards the LEC Summer Final.